Alright, so now that our experiment is done and we have our video, I've uploaded it to my computer, and this is what it is. As you can see here, it's in the MP4 format, which is what we're going to work with. I've tried recording video in other formats, but it hasn't worked as well, specifically the HD MTS format. So I would recommend, if you're doing video recordings of your experiment, record it in MP4 or MPG format, and most programs will be compatible with those formats, not so much the MTS. Alright then, so let's get started in trying to get our images from the video. So the program I use is GIMP. GIMP is an open source program. It's just like Photoshop, but it's free. So you can download it to your computer anywhere in the world. So in order to get our frames, the first thing we do is select this video drop down menu, and this option here that says split video into frames, and we're going to extract video range. So once you click that, the first thing we do is select our source video file. So that's pretty straightforward. Let me do that right now. Documents, SMP, DIC, instructional video raw, experimental raw video, and so that's my experiment video. I'm going to hit OK. The next thing we do is to specify the start frame and the end frame, and I'm guessing we don't know initially how many frames we have in our video. So in order to determine how many frames we have, we can click this button, which will help us see the range of our video. So you see the slider bar over here. So now it's set to frame 1 of our video, and if we drag it all the way down, alright, so GIMP pulls up this this window whenever I try to select my end frame. It asks to create a video index file. Now I've tried it both ways, where I've hit OK, and I've also avoided creating this file. I've noticed it does make a difference. So you're welcome to try and create this file, but I haven't found any use for it. So I'm going to go ahead and click cancel. But it kind of does it anyway. If you see in this video seek graphic over here, it is creating this video index file. So we're going to go ahead and ignore that for now, but let's just go back to our frames over here. So now we know we have around 3,900 frames, and just for assuming that the entire video is of the experiment, and you don't have any extra video, I guess, at the end of your experiment, we're going to set this as our last frame. So I'm going to come here and type in 3924. Alright, so with that done, it asks for a video track, and it says 0 means extract no frames. So we want video and we want our frames, but for the audio track we don't need audio, obviously. So let's go ahead and set that to 0. Okay, so that's our source formatting. Now let's talk about the output images that we want to generate. So the base name is over here, and by default it sets to frame underscore. The program I'm using specifies that the name of the images should contain an alphabet character and a numeric character in the file name. There should be no underscores or any other kind of characters in the file name. So I'm going to go ahead and delete the underscore over here. Alright. We also need to specify where we'd like to store our images. So you can select the folder by clicking that button, and let me select the folder I want. Again, go back to documents, SMP DIC material, instructional video, and draw images. Alright, so that's the folder I've selected. So knowing that I have roughly 3,900 images, I don't need to have 6 digits in my in my file name, so I'm gonna go ahead and set that to 4. The other requirement I need from my Matlab program is that the images need to be in TIFF format. So you can go ahead and create the XCF file here, which is a GIMP file, and you can convert formats later to TIFF, but you can also skip that step and do it right here. So if I just specify extension TIFF, that should have me set for my images. Alright, I'm pretty sure I have everything set up right. I've selected the right video. My initial frame and my end frame have been specified. I have the right file name for my frame, for my images, and I have my images saved in the right format. So you can see here the video seek is still going. So I'm going to let that do its thing and kind of ignore that. So with all my input and output parameters set, I'm ready to I'm ready to get my images. So I'm going to hit OK, and that should start the process. So this is what it looks like when GIMP is extracting images from your video. You can see at the bottom that the frame number keeps updating as it's getting saved. As it's doing that, we'll just wait for it to let it complete before we begin our batch processing. With the images obtained, I can now start manipulating them or batch processing them to the desired number of images and the format I need them in. I now have about 2,800 images, and for this demo I only need 50 images. So we can reduce that number once again in GIMP, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Most DIC programs require your images to be in 8-bit grayscale format. The images I have now are color images, and they're in 24-bit format. The way I check that is by right-clicking on an image, clicking on Properties, clicking on the Details tab, and you see here that it's mentioned that the bit depth is 24. Alright, so first let me show you how to reduce the number of images using GIMP. So to do that, you select any image from the folder you're in and open it in GIMP. Then check the Video tab and come down to Frames Density. So what this option allows you to do is to increase or decrease the number of images you have. If you see this option here that says increase density and you put your mouse pointer over it, it gives you an instruction on what to do. So by unchecking the increase density box, we'll be reducing the number by whatever factor we specify. So let's uncheck that, and I need to get down to roughly 50 images, so I'm going to reduce it by a factor of 55 and hit OK. It then asks me for a confirmation if I actually want to reduce the number of images, and it also tells you how many images you'll be reducing it down to. So 52 is close enough, and so I'm going to hit OK, and hopefully it works. File format warning. I just say save as is, save as TIFF, and save. And you can see that it's decreasing the density. So let's wait for it to complete. You will get this error message almost always, and I just hit OK. I think it's trying to pull up the last file, which is probably deleted. So let's hit OK. And you come back to your folder where you had your images originally, and you can now see that it's down to 50 images. Now that we have our desired number of images, let's convert our images to grayscale. So once again, we open an image in GIMP, And you can convert it to grayscale by clicking on the video tab and then going to frames convert. So over here you can even change your file type, but we already have it set on TIFF, so we don't need to change that. We have the range of images specified here between 1 and 53, and we'll be changing all of them to grayscale, and you'll be changing it to grayscale over here in image type. If you hit that arrow button and click on convert to gray, and let's say OK, and let's overwrite all. So we'll be replacing all the color images with grayscale images and saving them with the same file name. Save as TIFF. So these are our color images. Let's wait for it to complete. And there we have it. So it displays the first image again, and now it's in grayscale. So let's go ahead and close this. Let's open up our images in Windows. So yeah, all our images are back to grayscale. And let me just show you the bit depth, properties, details, and now we have an 8-bit image. So our images are ready for the DIC program. We have the number of images that we need. We have them in TIFF format. We've named them appropriately, and we have them in grayscale. So we're ready to go.